Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to one of our regular webinars, where today we have the esteemed company of a colleague of mine, Mel Dawson. She's uniquely placed to talk to you about FCCS, which is Financial Close Cloud Service provided by Oracle. In her previous roles, she has been a financial director and a financial controller. So the experiences that you have and you feel and the opportunities that you may see, I would suggest that many has seen them before. So welcome to everybody to our webinar today. Just a bit of a background about InnoUps for those who have not become... Okay, so InnoUps ourselves, we've been in existence for just over 10 years now, and we are a global platinum partner of Oracle. Highlights is most recently we've won the Oracle Specialized Partner of the Year for Software as a Service Transformation globally, which means that it's an acknowledgement of InnoUps' ability to deliver globally services and offerings to our clients. So throughout the webinar, please do ask questions, and we'll try and answer them as best as we can. So starting off today, I suppose the simple question is to my colleague Mel. Good afternoon, Mel. What are the big challenges around financial close that you've experienced in your roles as financial director and controller?
Good afternoon, Nigel. Well, today's challenges, as most finance people will know, that finance organisations face many priorities. We have to the oversight of financial transactions, management of enterprise performance, we have financial reporting, and more importantly, the timely close and consolidation of financial data. However, it's not just a matter of improving the speed of the financial close process. It's more the demand for improved financial governance, increased transparency, and of course the reliability of data. We also have to keep up with the pace of regulatory change, and as a result current economic changes as well as ongoing regulatory initiatives such as the Business Reporting Language XBRL and the constant moving of international reporting standards, all known to us as IFRS. We need to, as finance organisations, proactively manage these challenges and avoid creating a perfect storm for the close and consolidation process.
Okay, well, thanks for that. So I suppose the next question I've got is, so what are the common pain points in this process?
Well, believe me, Nigel, there's quite a few. The most common ones are we have lengthy and cumbersome closes. Finance always resembles a fire drill during the monthly close process. We have difficulty with reporting and analysis and trying to drill down to that data. Inefficient and disconnected processes can often prolong the reporting. Multiple non-standard charts of accounts, which also then creates the cottage craft industry of Excel spreadsheets. There's the data quality issues that we often encounter. Limited capacity with staff and time to be able to produce operational metrics or KPIs. And as I said, too many spreadsheets. We end up having a cottage craft industry of them. And of course, there's the thing that overhangs all of us is the audit issues. Always making sure we're covering audit trails for auditors, etc. So if we move on to the key element for an efficient financial reporting process is to have a good overview of this process and therefore creating a better flow. The process needs a well-defined so that all parties involved have a clear picture of their role and responsibilities, and also what the output is required and what deadlines apply to their work stream. Overview and structure in the process creates a better flow and therefore a faster reporting process. The The priorities and challenges. Many years ago, the challenge used to be was the production of financial reporting. The focus has now shifted from production to analysis. The challenge facing companies today is that we need to meet this increased quantitative and qualitative requirements while at the same time keeping a sharp focus on expenses. The solution is to optimize and improve the efficiency of the company's financial reporting process so that it can provide more and better information, but using the same or, dare I say, fewer resources.
Okay, Mel, thanks for that. So I suppose the simple question is, I've heard of FCCS, and like everybody who talks to Oracle, it's another acronym. So can you explain what it actually is, please?
Well, if you notice, Nigel, FCCS stands for Financial Consolidation and Close Cloud Service. So somewhere along the line, we lost an extra C. Not quite sure where that went. So what is FCCS? It's best practice management and legal entity consolidation and reporting solution in the cloud. Out of the box functionality with limited customization, pre-built hierarchies, dashboards and calculations, and more importantly, it's built on Oracle S-based platform. So anyone used to planning PBCS will be very easily able to pick up FCCS. But be aware, this is not HFM in the cloud. It is not the Oracle Hyperion Financial Management Consolidation tool. So what does it consist of? Well, it has closed task management components, so to manage the overall close process. So it has what we would call financial close in the cloud. Has intercompany eliminations, multi-currency translations, as well as standard consolidation. As I said before, pre-built hierarchies and calculations. And it also includes the supplemental data manager, which are completely integrated within FCCS. So what's included? Well, within FCCS, you get a dev instance and the prod instance. One application per environment per pod. System defined and configurable options. It's built on the EPM cloud platform, and within it's pre-built dashboards. Most dimensions and the members are data input forms and business rules. As I said, FCCS is built on the EPC platform, so 80% of FCCS is EPC. So therefore, as I said, anyone knowing PBCS will already know and be able to use FCCS. Concepts around the data storage are different to those of HFM, but very easy to pick up.
Okay, thanks for that, Mel. So are you going to give us a walkthrough of the product, FCCS?
I will indeed, Nigel.
Thank you.
So, first of all, when you first log on to FCCS, you are greeted with what we call a simplified user interface, which is a welcome screen. And it's made up of what Oracle term as clusters and cards. Fully customizable, so you can move, add and hide the cards and clusters. And if you look on the left-hand side, there are announcements to give you deadlines of what needs closing, etc. And these are fully customizable. You also have a list of tasks and messages. So if we look at the financial close, it's driven by Close Manager. It's run off by reusable templates. You can have due date assignments and set up notifications based on the status and due dates of those financial close tasks. There's also forms and dashboards. The forms are the basis of dashboards. They're available by the web or through SmartView. SmartView is the Excel add-in that Oracle uses for Excel manipulation. We also have drill-through capability, composite forms, and validation rules can also be added to the forms. As I was saying, we've got pre-configured dashboards. So if we look at the financial close overview dashboard, we have a general overview which will give you a visual of close tasks. So you can see that on this we have 7 complete, 14 incomplete. We can show journals of what's complete, and we have the supplemental data. So it gives you an overview of where you are in the close process. We then have compliance dashboard, where you can see how many of the tasks have been completed, whether they've been prepared on time, approved on time, and any tasks still that have either been rejected and late or still outstanding. So again, shows how the business is doing from a financial close and whether they're on time. There is also a pre-configured financials dashboard. You have 3: income dashboard, balance sheet, and cash flow. This is an example of a balance sheet dashboard where you have pie charts, we have graphs, and this will show you how the balances have moved or changed over a period of time. FCCS also includes a very powerful module of journals, has very powerful entry capabilities. Within FCCS, again, you've got the easy view of lists of journals by period. You can see the history of the changes. As a workflow process, so you're able to submit journals, reject, approve, post, and unpost. Again, to save time, you can copy journals, delete, import, and export journal entries. It has an automatic numbering, non-repeating system, and you can also run a various number of journal reports. So here's by selecting your journal report, you can select an entity. You can select whether it's an intercompany journal, a multi-gap journal, or elimination or consolidation. And you can select it over a period of time, financial year, and whether you're doing it in an entity currency or a functional or reporting currency. The same again with intercompany reports. FCCS performs intercompany eliminations, but it also performs intercompany matching reports, where you can understand your intercompany eliminations and also, more importantly, see who is matching with who and eliminating, and those that we have discrepancies. This is an example of how to set up an intercompany report. So you can do a global across the whole legal structure intercompany, or you can break it down into various mini consolidations. It has filters, and you can produce this report in PDF or Excel or HTML. So here's an example where we have, we show the entity with its intercompany partner, the intercompany amounts, and who has entered against what, and what the variance is. And then that gives you a breakdown of where the intercompany mismatches are occurring. SmartView, as I said earlier, is a Excel add-in. It's compatible with Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You can view metadata, forms and reports. You can, with this, actually edit dimensions within SmartView under the admin extension, and you can also read back and write back availability. FCCS also includes the Supplemental Data Manager module. It's fully integrated, it is all part of the workflow, and it has every feature that you are all familiar with. Financial Close, the Close Manager, again, fully integrated. You have full control and integration with your workflow, and it has all the same features as those on-prem that you would be all used to. So dimensionality, very similar to HFM. It has 11 predefined system dimensions. So scenario, which would be your actual budget, forecast. You have year, period, view, which is year to date, quarter to date, consolidation, data source, currency, entity, account. Movement is where you would show the, for example, balance sheet movements, and the company dimension. FCCS currently has two customs, custom 1, custom 2, to give you added dimensionality and granularity of your data. However, if you select the multi-gap reporting module, then that uses up one of your customs, and therefore you only have one custom available. The system-defined members, many dimensions and members are predefined, so these cannot be modified or removed. The aliases can all be modified for all the system members. You can then create custom dimensions and members within. The system members are prefixed with the FCCS underscore. And the architecture allows for static foundation across customers, so the content can be shared. The advantage of FCCS is that it is pitched at being out of the box functionality. And with that, we mean you have pre-built business rules, so there is no need to modify, create or remove. There's no custom scripting. There are members formulas that are available for calculations that therefore gives you your dynamic calcs, KPIs, ratios and real time. The way the rules are built, the members' properties also affect the calculation, so changing an account from an asset to a revenue will make the account behave differently. All this is pre-built, so there is no custom scripting. Again, very similar to what we are used to, say, within HFM, is that we have what we call a calculation and lock status. Lock status is where you're able to see whether you have your hierarchy unlocked, so it is open, it is ready to receive data, and it is ready to start the reporting process. Locked means that the system is locked down, or that entity is locked down, and therefore prevents any data being changed, and you maintain auditability throughout. Calculation status, anyone who's an HFM user will be familiar with, and this is where we use the calculates the no data, whether data has been impacted and whether it needs translating, etc.
Okay, thanks for that, Mel. So just to recap, I'm just looking at some of these capabilities of FCCS. Am I right in thinking that some of the key points are the predefined dimensions that it provides to us, the flexible application configuration, that's very important. Not one size fits all, I'm assuming.
Agreed.
Obviously standard consolidations, so they're provided out of the box, which is great. Currency translation is very important, I can imagine, for a company that is operating across Europe or even globally. Automated cash flow, so you kind of get that as a result of doing your consolidation and close through the product. Is that right as well, Mel?
Yeah, the automated cash flow is by the pre-built rules, and that from the movements on the balance sheet, so it's all automated. So users don't have to try recreating the wheel, so to speak, and redeveloping cash flow.
Great, good. That's important, I think. Multi-gap support. Can you just with the reporting associated, can you just summarise that to me again?
The multi-gap is where we have companies that would have subsidiaries in different countries, so they will have perhaps different gap reporting. So we would have, say, IFRS in the UK, and you'd have US GAAP for the States. Multi-gap reporting allows for those different requirements to meet those different standards of reporting.
From a resourcing perspective and knowledge, I'm kind of taking that's really important from a corporate perspective. Yeah. Good. And I suppose the other one there is the good old audit trail.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I notice financial close and supplementary schedules. That's the other key point. Is that right?
Yeah, the close calendar and supplementary schedules are fully integrated within FCCS.
Okay, good. So I'm sitting in a position of I kind of got some of these challenges. So how do you think, in your role as a financial director, how would you go about choosing the right solution for your challenges?
Well, if you look at the slide we're looking at the moment, is we have a bit of a yes/no solution, where if you're an existing Hyperion customer, you have a very simple consolidation, you have 100% ownership. Then FCCS, if you have an appetite for cloud, or HFM if you want on-prem and you want in effect the heavy lifting consolidation system. If you have, again, like I said, a simple application, either no currency translations or simple currency translations and simple consolidations, with no requirements for minority interests, organisation by periods, then FCCS is your application. It's easy to implement, a lot shorter timescales, it's all pre-built, and it's easy to administer. However, if you have anything with alternate hierarchies, expanded dimensionality, complex ownership, then you would be looking more towards HFM.
Okay, Mel, thanks for that. Really, I found that very informative. I thought I knew everything, but obviously so thanks everybody for joining in our webinar today and listening in. I'd just like to point you that we have up and coming webinars on our website at www.innoapps.com/events. I kind of think we've given you all a little bit of time back, so which is great. So without any further questions, if you have any specific questions you'd like to take offline, then please get in touch with either Mel, whose details are on the first slide, or myself, and we'll happily we'll follow up with you individually. But just like to summarise and thank you all for joining, and goodbye until the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.